This program is about unsolved mysteries. What you're about to see is not a news broadcast.
Shut up and sit down.
On April 26, 2021, at the height of lockdowns and poof mania, a brand new toy channel burst onto the scene on YouTube. Collector's Crush. A young couple, Miranda and Tony, scoured the Walmarts and Targets all around Miami, Florida, searching for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Masters of the Universe Origins toys. They would sometimes do unboxings, Q&A sessions, and even live streams.
We had so many questions like this.
Every day.
I actually lost my eye, or my sight I should say, in 2017 after a very, very bad surgery. I was born with congenital cataracts and I've had over 11 surgeries in that eye, and this was the final straw. I went blind during that surgery, and that's end of story.
Miranda was a striking and exotic figure, featuring a mysterious eye patch. She was most prominently shown in the thumbnails and on the videos. Tony, while occasionally seen, mostly served as a cameraman and off-screen commentator. Rapidly gaining followers at a breakneck speed, they ultimately climbed to 12,500 subscribers, with videos getting upwards of tens of thousands of views each before they just as suddenly disappeared. It was only 4 months later when their last video was posted on YouTube in August of 2021. What happened to them? Why did they stop posting and let their channel just die? There were a lot of theories. Some of them are absurd, like they were Russian spies. However, some of them are probably plausible. Perhaps they just couldn't afford toy hunting and YouTubing. Maybe they split up. No one knows, and nothing has been seen or heard from them since. The Reluctant Adult podcast did a couple of clickbaity podcast titles, teasing that they knew what happened to them, which wasn't true.
Hey, you remember Collector's Crush on YouTube?
Barely. Seemed to be.
It's been months.
I seem to check in every 2 weeks, and there's neither any subscription growth or any new content. So, what happened?
Rocco the Great has claimed that Miranda is now with him. That was just a clickbait lie. Do you know what became of Miranda and Tony? If so, we would love to hear from you.
Seen or heard from these people, please let us know on this channel.
We'd love to know. I'm just beside myself at wonder what became of this young couple. And we talked about that last night. What do you think about it, Joneson?
You know, they have impressive numbers. I've never heard of them, or I must have missed it, or maybe I was busy trying to do my own content at the time and I never came across them. I would have thought the chick with the eye patch would have been memorable to me, but yeah, I just never came across them. It's an interesting story, and it's an interesting thing. I wonder, there's a comic book person that I wonder the same thing. He didn't have as impressive numbers. He had maybe 400 subscribers, but this guy had the most impressive comic book collection I had ever seen. He had, you know, like Spider-Man #1, Fantastic Four #1, Avengers #1, Hulk 181, Amazing Fantasy 15. Like, he had all the big heavy hitter books that like anybody would want. You know, I think the only two he was missing was Action 1 and Detective 27. He had everything else. And the guy had an amazing channel. He would comment on my videos. I would talk to him. He even started buying Ninja Turtle toys, watching me doing my He-Man toys, and he just disappeared off the face of the earth. He hasn't posted nothing in over a year.
Weird. There seems to be no internet trail where they're from. Miami area is where they lived in Florida. They were happy to say that. As a matter of fact, there's a video out there where they met with a fan of theirs in a parking lot of a Walmart or a Target to exchange some toys. So they were well known, and they operate out of the Miami area. What's left is an abandoned YouTube channel that sits forever frozen in where it was when they quit. There's an abandoned Instagram of theirs over there that hasn't been updated in God knows when, probably back to when they disappeared. I sent them a DM on Instagram before I decided to do the video even, and the DM was a small, quick one. Are you guys even still around? No response. There is an abandoned Twitter account as well, with what's left of what they posted back when it was active and the channel was active. So I don't know.
It makes me wonder, you know, especially on the other fella that I actually had spoken to, because yeah, he didn't have their numbers, but his channel was far ahead of mine. In fact, it still is. And you know, I was just kind of like, wow, just out of nowhere. But I mean, the thing is too, this all happened around COVID. You know,
Yeah,
they speculate dark, but you know, maybe something happened to them.
Well, I think it's probably Occam's razor here. Boba Hicks says there were a lot of channels that sprang up during the coof and lockdowns that disappeared after the world started to open up again, and that was the thing. All right, so the scenario is, all right, you can't go to work, or you're working from home because you can't go to the office. You got all this free time on your hands. You may have even lost your job, and now you're collecting double unemployment, plus coof bucks. Everybody got coof bucks. Did you get coof bucks? I got coof bucks.
Hello.
Got the so everybody's riding high. I got all this extra money that they didn't have before, and nothing to do. So what do? Start a YouTube channel and go toy hunting and film yourself doing it. But what happens when reality comes crashing back in, and the coof bucks dry up, and the unemployment runs out, and it's time to go back and to life again, and life begins again, and you have to go back to the office. You have to go back to school. These were college kids. They were going to college, and assuming they had jobs as well to support that. All of the lockdown and coof mania was over with, and it's time to get back to reality. And I think that's what happened.
Well, and here's the other deal. Like, if they had as many subscribers and views as you're saying, then that's a monetized channel that's probably still collecting ad revenue if it's still monetized its videos. Where's that going? I mean, I guess we'll never know, but you know, it makes me wonder if maybe they are in court in dispute of the channel, or in dispute of the has that ever happened where people worked on a channel together and then now they're broke apart and they gotta fight over it like a divorce?
You wonder about that. Shaitan's Hammer said he remembers seeing their thumbnails during the pandemic but never watched the videos, and now he might have to binge. The content's easy to binge because there's not that much of it. But what he is there is entertaining at the very least. We were talking about that. I mean, what if she decided that she was tired of his ass and she took a hike? All right, what's he left with? Nobody was watching that shit for him, I guarantee you. And how is
that? Probably makes the most sense if we're being honest here. You know, if she moved on, then what's he got? You know?
Well, you know, the best video to watch to get a clearer idea of them as a couple is their Q&A video, which I showed a portion of when she talked about what happened to her eye. She was asked, what did she collect other than toys? She collects a lot of things other than toys, and one of them is first edition books. And she was on her way of getting a first edition Mary Shelley Frankenstein book.
Wow.
Yeah, and she also said that she was not a toy collector until she met him.
Wow.
So, you know, it's kind of like my wife. My wife does collect toys, but would she be collecting toys if it wasn't for me? Probably not.
My wife could give a crap about these toys or comic books or anything.
That's the way it usually is.
I mean, she doesn't. She understands that I'm into them. And
Well,
she's
you know,
off it.
Yeah.
I still go through that the meme, you know, my lady, my queen, my dear, and then she's over there, buy the little toy.
Right. Right. I like the one where they show the guy and there's the tall lady, and I think they're on a movie set looking at a script, and it's like my wife, me showing her the comic book I want.
Let's all collectively hire a private eye to investigate this mystery, a cheap private eye preferably. Hey, why don't we hire the Pinkertons so the Pinkertons will quit bothering people about Wizards of the Coast shit and go do something that they need to be doing. I don't think the Pinkertons are cheap, though.
No.
All right, everybody. All I got to say on this one is we'll see you next time. And in the meantime, have a good journey.
Good journey.
Special thanks to the channel supporters. Without your help, these adventures would not be possible. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed today's adventure, please hit like, subscribe, and share the video.